Welcome back to a sunny morning here in Calgary for the 2018 Classic Powerlifting World Championships, brought to you by IPF, Alico, SBD, and a bucket load of sponsors we're going to talk about today as well. I'm joined in the commentary box by the one and only Ryan Sixpack Lapadap.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll be kicking off this morning's actions with the 47-kilo open women. You thought last week was exciting. The action just keeps getting better and better here in Calgary.
Yeah, taking a look at the nominations here. Top 3 nominations, all within 5 kilo. That means we're going to have some battles for the podium finishes, whether it's gold, silver, or bronze.
And we are about 10 seconds away from kicking off with Colleen Sermon from Switzerland, looking to open at 82.5. It's a pretty good opening, a fairly conservative opening. She was the World Championships last year, I think, in Minsk as well, squatting around 90 kilos. So, yeah, 82.5, that's a good conservative opening lift, especially for first flight of the day, first lifter.
I would assume she's probably improved from there as well. So, yeah, it sounds like an appropriate opener.
And you're watching at home, remember, these young ladies are under 47 kilograms. Yeah. These girls are tiny.
Small but mighty.
So if you get those first squat nerves out of the road.
Walked it out very comfortably. And the first squat of the open has taken place.
And that will settle her nerves right down.
Yeah, nothing like 3 white lights to settle those nerves.
Wow. Fukumura from Japan, 87.5. And we've been saying all week about the Japanese lifters and their proficiency with technique.
Yeah, they're usually right bang on, using all their levers, getting 100% out of their mechanics.
The bar is loaded, 87.5 kilos. I have Fukumura.
And the coaching staff's pretty good with their attempt selection as well. Very few kilos left on the table, and very few times do they make attempts they can't make.
She finished 5th this year at the World Bench Press Classic, I think.
Oh, we'll have to watch for her in the bench press event. You know, speak of the devil, she has one of the biggest openers in bench. Good eye, sir.
Just taking your time with that setup, making sure everything is right. Yeah, that was a fantastic opening squat. And again, so technically proficient.
Yeah, depth was there, bar speed was bang on.
And she gets the 3 whites. Danielle Malcolm, Great Britain, 100 kilos. Didn't Great Britain have an outstanding day yesterday?
You know what? The British team has done really well in the Masters and the Juniors, really picking up a lot of points.
I don't think I've heard the British national anthem that many times in one day.
The Queen would be proud.
I am now very familiar with the British national anthem. Danielle Malcolm, Great Britain, 100 kilograms.
Already in the triple digits.
This is a really conservative opening lift. I mean, she's been squatting well above in the 115s and 120s for a couple of years now. I mean, I think this is a really smart move too.
Yeah, she weighed in near the top of the weight class. She might have to cut a little weight, so take it easy as you rehydrate. You'll only get stronger.
And I think this is her first year as a 47, I think.
What was she before? Did she have to cut down?
Yeah, she was a weight class above the year before.
Yeah, so then maybe it's a good idea.
Yeah, so it's probably a good opening lift.
Yeah.
Ri Kani from Japan looking for 110 kilograms. These are some big squats for some small girls.
Yeah, we're already well above double body weight, and we're just at openers.
The bar is loaded at 110 kilos. Ri Kani, Japan.
Another Japanese lifter. We got 2 in this flight.
Finished 6th last year at the World Championships in Minsk with a 115 squat.
So probably pacing herself to best that.
And she
opening at
has
110.
got ample experience at the World Championships.
That helps, especially when you got such a huge trip, like from Japan to Canada.
And she has been solid contender for the last 3 years consecutively.
The bar speed was quick.
She
Knees
gets 2.
come right in and touch in the middle. She almost like she forgot, and then she's, oh darn, they touched, pushes them out. They literally touched in the middle.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, obviously when the weight gets heavy, that you don't want to fold up like that.
Naomi Albert from France, 112 kilograms. Another experienced World Championship lifter, competed last year in Minsk. She was 107.5 last year. So she's made some big improvements since last year.
Yeah, it's kind of, her nomination says 120.
Well, I'll tell you, 112.5 just looked like an easy day at the office.
So maybe the nomination's more on point, yeah. That was a fairly leisurely opener.
That's some big improvements from last year.
Yeah, you never know what happened last year, right? Maybe it was an off day.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Hannah
anyways.
Rantala from Finland wants 112.5. And she has a bucket load of experience dating back to the World Championships all the way back in 2007.
Oh, wow. Grizzly veteran then. And handles her opener rather well as well. They're very proficient in their squat. Bang on in the
very
form.
much. Everything's been fantastic.
Yeah, bar speed never loses. Look at this.
Rhonda Wong from Canada, 112.5. These lifts are just getting bigger and bigger here.
Now, I don't know what you got on the nomination. It's 122.5, so giving herself a lot of room to grow with this opener, we're assuming.
Yeah, well, she had a 122.5 at the Canadian Nationals this year.
Ah, okay, so this should be
And that
fairly
was
light work.
that was in February, so plenty of time to make some improvement. But 112.5, that's a really smart opening lift.
Yeah. Yep, and that's going to be around the line. We'll see how the judges call it.
Yeah, she was just on the borderline there, but
Yep,
she gets the white
that's
lights deep enough.
Establishing that strike zone. And thus far, all the openers have moved pretty well. Nobody's
Yeah.
opened too high. We have a grinder.
Been
And
smart
oh, no.
moves so
Yep.
far. Allegra Hudson from the US of A wants 112.5 as well.
112.5 kilos, Allegra Hudson, USA.
Another lifter with a wealth of experience at the World Championship level.
I'm told Allegra's got a pretty big deadlift on her. Looking to add kilos in the subtotal and try to pull into a position when the deadlifts come.
And she's quite a young lifter as well. So she was a junior a couple of years ago.
Just breaking into the open, eh? Wow. That was pretty,
Nailed it.
that was pretty smooth and
She
easy.
is one to watch now and in the
Yeah.
future. She actually won the World Junior Championships in 2016.
And I think she was also in the Open, the Equipped World Championships
Yeah.
once before as well.
So she's lifting equipped and raw.
Yep.
Watch out for her.
Gaining some experience quickly. Oh, 13-year veteran.
Leslie Evangelista, 115 kilograms
So she's
from the Philippines.
She has a 122.5 nomination, so should be well within her means. Again, the Philippines is quite far a trip. You just want to get acclimatized.
Yeah, I mean, it's really smart to open, fairly conservatively, particularly when you've got that long trip ahead. We know a lot of the athletes, coaches, officials that have come from some of the European countries have really struggled with the jet lag. Yeah, it's a bit of a harder opening lift than what you'd want. Let's just hope it was first lift nerves.
And sometimes you just want to wake up that nervous system. It is really early, and talking about time zone difference from here to Singapore can be, I don't even know. I know within Canada we have a 4-hour difference. Here to the other side of the world literally could be another day.
Yeah, so back home for me, it's 6 p.m. in the evening.
Yeah, so there you go. Some of these people, it's got to wake the nervous system up a little bit.
Stina Camelum from Sweden wants 120. What a monster opening squat.
Yeah, this is a pretty good lead already. 5 kilo from the next heaviest opener. And that would
this
be...
is a very conservative. She squatted 130 last year at the World Championships.
Wow.
And she finished second.
Let's see how she handles this.
Takes her time. Well, gets a little bit out of line there.
Yep.
She's probably not very happy with that.
Let me see what they say about the depth.
Just deep enough, gets the 2 white lights. She won't be happy with that squat though.
Take another look at this in a slow-mo.
Just got a little bit messy at the bottom. Just dropped the line out.
Yeah, she pitched a little
Hips
bit.
came up too fast, faster than the chest.
Sometimes when your chest drops forward, your hips got to come up with it. She got a warning.
And we will come around for attempt 2. Colleen Sermon, Switzerland, 87.5 kilograms. It's a nice conservative 5 kilo jump.
Yeah, still underneath her nominated best 90, so I think she'll see how this moves and decide whether they match her previous PR or go for a new one. Oh, it's a bit of a... Elbows come in underneath the bar to keep her chest upright. Good technique. Just a stitch
Just
high.
a little high.
You know, I was wondering, I didn't want to say anything. Let's take a look at the slow-mo replay. Yeah, it was close.
And interestingly, just having a look at all the weigh-ins, this is the first time we've really seen that all the girls are really close to the same weight. They're all very, very close in weight.
Yeah, they're right snug to that limit.
Fukumura from Japan wants 95 kilograms.
You know, the byproduct of lifting weights is putting on muscle, and 47 kilos doesn't leave you a lot of room to grow.
It
so
is
you're
really hard to stay under that weight.
You might have to cut. A little bit of water weight. Oh, depth for sure.
Holds that
Very
technique
well, wow.
absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, I handled
Gets
that
3 white lights.
7.5 kilo very well. I think she probably started extra low given all the variables of the travel. Good move by the Japanese.
Danielle Malcolm from Great Britain, 105 kilograms.
Yeah, it's still within her means of 110 kilo based off her nomination.
Great Britain.
Expecting this to move just maybe slightly slower than her opener, but no major struggles.
A lot of these ladies today with a wealth of experience under that bar at national and international level. I think this might be Danielle's first World Classic Powerlifting Championship. She's done a World Bench Press Championships before.
3 white lights and a quickly for Danny.
That moved, yeah, it's to be expected. No major struggles just yet.
Japan.
See that bar path right up and down, bang in the pocket.
Marie Kani from Japan, 115 kilograms.
She's done 117.5 previously.
If you're enjoying the live stream at home, it's a big thanks to Viva Media, who are doing a fantastic job. They are so committed to their work. One of our great leaders in Viva Media is about to become a grandfather.
Oh.
Those knees have popped in again. They're causing her problems. Unusual to see a technique breakdown like that in a Japanese lifter.
Yeah.
And it's cost her this time.
That's it. It's hard to hit depth with your knees. Shoot in quick like that. Yeah, they literally touch.
They came together.
When you turn on your glutes, the knees actually, like, they naturally want to come in, but you got to fight against it. You can't have them fold like a lawn chair.
Hanna Rantala from Finland, the occupational therapist, looking for 117.5. So a couple of the girls just having problems with their second lifts.
Depth looks good.
Handles that well.
Oh, wow. You know what? Her opener moved around the same bar speed. So sometimes you see an opener and you're like, oh, that wasn't that fast for bar speed. But they always just maintain it right through.
Yeah, second lift was quite similar.
Yeah. Very well done.
Naomi Alibert from France wants 120 kilograms. $120 kilograms.
This is matching her previous best.
I think she is the lightest lifter today.
Yep.
By about 400 grams.
Oh.
Gets it back to the top reasonably fast.
Yeah, she stayed under that bar well. Keeping herself in good position and setting herself up for a personal best.
Leslie Evangelista from the Philippines, 120 kilograms.
That's just shy of 122.5 on her nomination.
Yeah, and I imagine she's done a lot since then. I mean, that 122.5 she lifted at Worlds last year.
And she has a really big deadlift.
We'll be keeping an eye on her when it comes down to those last
Yeah, look for
lifts.
her to start pulling away once we hit the deadlifts.
And those knees popping in there.
Pushes them out. That a girl, see if she gets rewarded. Three
Just
whites.
makes it a little bit harder when those knees drop in.
Yeah, when you got a deadlift like her, oftentimes you're trying to almost stay in the pocket, go 3 for 3 in squats, 3 for 3 in bench. You're adding kilos, but you're not necessarily trying to hunt down medals because you know your weapon you're going to expose.
You got to hold
in the
on.
deadlifts.
You got to hold on to a little bit of energy for that weapon.
If you chase something that's kind of out of your reach, so you're trying to fight battle for battle, tit for tat in the squats, and that's not your event. That's how you miss attempts.
We've been talking all week about playing that end game.
Yeah.
Rhonda Wong, Canada, 120 kilograms.
Pretty consistent.
Probably a little borderline there, but you really only have to get depth that you need.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it was on. It's economical. You don't need to drop too much below.
Allegra Hudson from the US of A, 120 kilograms. The spotters and loaders are flying through this morning.
Yeah, they're just ripping through this. I got a little bit of scouting on Allegra from Matt Gary. He said her nomination is based off of hitting 5, maybe 6 attempts, but he thinks if they do an 8 for 9 or a 9 for 9 day, her actual projected total could go way up. So we'll see. And if anyone's going to steer you there, it's the Garys.
Well, we've got to keep an eye on that.
Sticking to the game plan so far.
Sporting the Titan belt, Titan suit, and Titan knee sleeves, one of our other great sponsors.
Stina from Sweden, she's 150 opener on the deadlifts. So she's going to have a deadlift battle with the Filipino.
Yeah, I mean, a smart move here is just to chip away the kilos on and just hold out, save some energy until we get down to the end. Stina Kemelum from Sweden, 125. And she had a bit of a tough opening lift. Well away from her best lift, but she really had to grind a little.
I mean, she's in the lead if she hits this, but is she closer to the limit than she thinks? Well, I guess we're going to find out. This should be a bit of an indication. She is the #1 nomination, or sorry, #2 nomination, just by 2.5 kilo, though.
It'll be interesting to actually find out when a lot of these athletes fly in. Sweden, there's quite a big difference in time zones.
Yeah, that's work for sure.
Yeah, she's really having to work for that.
I mean, it won't be a big jump, that's for sure. Yeah, it's at the top, and they've all had big trips. We have Hanna Rantala from Finland, Stina from Sweden, and the Mongolian, actually. And they are literally within 5 kilo of each other on their nominations. It's going to be a battle.
It's going to be really interesting to see how they handle their bench, because that's going to really start to make a difference and see who's actually prepared for the battle.
Yeah.
Colleen Sermon from Switzerland, 90 kilograms. This is dead equal to her last PB. But under the right conditions, she's been able to squat up into the 120s.
Whoa.
So it's interesting.
Is that it?
Yeah, she competed.
Raw?
No, yeah, she competed Worlds Raw last year in the 47s and squatted a 122.5.
This is quite a bit below that.
So it's quite interesting.
Depth looks good
And
this
this
time. Oh, look at those
big
elbows kicking.
grind. She had to work hard for it.
That looked a little better in her second. Judges agree. I like to keep herself upright when the battle comes on and she's got to fight through a sticking point. Watch her elbows come forward once she
Just
take
pulls
tipping.
them up.
Once she
Very
felt her
nicely
chest
done.
tipping, elbows got under the bar to upright her upper body. Nicely done.
Aya Fukumura from Japan, 102.5. And speaking of our previous lifter Sermon, yeah, she squatted 122. She squatted 120 consistently a year ago. Yeah, but we don't know what's happened in her training and her life since then.
And you show a lot of heart when you show up, even if you're not 100%, to get your national team points.
102.5.
Should be noted, once you're past the 21-day mark, no reserves can come in, so you can be replaced. And she might have just stuck with it. For nation. Wow, talking about staying in the pocket. That's a personal best for her, and she's got to be happy with that. Well done.
Danielle Malcolm from Great Britain. Danielle has gained a lot of experience under this bar over the last couple of years. Lots of national championships.
She has hit 110 kilo previously. But if that was at her nationals, obviously not nearly as big a travel and some other variables. So this should be within her limit we're expecting. Nice tight setup there.
Just looking around at the spotters and loaders, and there's a few guys up there that have been up there every session, every day.
Yeah, I know, they're warriors.
Since the start.
Yep. Nicely done. Whoa, right in the pocket. Wow, that was...
Sticks with the technique, though.
You know
and
what?
It helps her out.
So, 3 white lights. So, I was just saying that's below what she's previously hit. Shows a lot of maturity and smart attempt selection by the Great Britain team. When you say, you know what, I know it's the Worlds, and you expect personal best at the Worlds, but you have to eat the food that's on the table that day. You can't just because you want it.
Yeah, I mean,
she
you
had
could
no
get
kilo
all
more.
the way to the end of this.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, she could have easily gone a couple of kilos more.
She
Might
would've
have
got
missed it, dropped it back down again.
Yeah, yeah.
Orikani from Japan, 115 kilograms.
It's on the line.
Having to work, and again,
See if they like
gets
dip.
that chest up.
It'll be close.
And she gets 2 white lights. Hanna Rantala from Finland wants 120 kilograms.
Bar is loaded. 120 kilos. Hanna Rantala.
Probably one of the most experienced lifters on the platform.
Yeah, this is our #1 nomination, and she's previously hit 127.5, but with that experience you had just mentioned, you know, on any given day you just take what you got and work with it.
Having to work, but gets to the top. If you look through her rap sheet, she has got an enormous amount of experience dating all the way back, and I don't think there's a single finish under 4th.
When you chase personal bests, sometimes that's when you miss attempts, and oftentimes it's whoever goes 9 for 9, especially in a race this close, that's going to finish on top.
Naomi Albert from France, 122.5. It's hard to believe these ladies are under 47 kilos, pushing out 122.5s,
Yeah,
127s.
It's impressive. This is a personal best for Naomi. Whoa, lots of heart there.
Wow, she got a bit
She
of a
looks
laugh to
surprised she
herself
got
when
it.
she get to the top.
You know, it was a bit of a helicoptering on her, and I'm sure it was a fight. She was more than happy to
Had a very
lock that out.
surprised look when she stood up there.
She's like, oh my God, I
I
did
got
it.
this. Leslie Evangelista from the Philippines, 122.5.
If you've ever been under the bar when things go awry like that, sometimes a bolt of anxiety hits you. You're like, whoa.
Okay, bar is now loaded. Leslie Evangelista, Philippines.
Now, this young lady has a very big deadlift. She's got a lot of weapons to choose from.
And she's playing the smart game, just a 2.5 kilo jump.
Yeah, she kind of
Gonna
knows.
add a little bit here, a little bit there, and then get to the deadlift and see if we can make some ground on that gold
Yeah.
medal.
Yeah, well said, sir.
Those knees popping right in and nearly cost her.
But I think she's
She
got it as
managed
well.
to get them out though.
Yeah.
You can see as soon as you pop those knees out, all of a sudden the bar
and-
speed increased.
And again, that attempt selection, I think, bang on. I don't know if I'd risk more, 2.5 more.
Yeah, I think any more than that wouldn't have been a good lift. Rhonda Wong from Canada wants 125.
Now, this would put her 4th for squats. Let me see here. Anybody else hit 125? No. It would put her temporarily in 2nd. And she is lighter than the American, who's also attempting 125 after her, so she'd stay in 2nd regardless.
That was a good 3rd lift from
Yeah.
Rhonda Wong. A little bit of work,
It was,
but not having to expend too much energy on it.
you know what, I think all the national teams are making very wise decisions in this squat event, getting the most out of the lifters without tipping them over, having them completely empty the tank this early in the competition.
So that will temporarily put her into the gold medal for squat. And we're just waiting to see.
Ah, yes, because she's lighter than the Swede. Gotcha.
And we have Allegra Hudson from the US of A looking at 125. This won't move her up into the medals.
Yeah, it's the same weight as the Canadian, but she's fractionally heavier.
It could get her up into bronze.
30 seconds.
Temporarily, she'll move into silver, but of course, we got the Swede still left to go.
Big screen.
The war cries are coming out.
You gotta love the snake skin Titan belt she's wearing there.
Coming out in style.
Stina Ackerman from Sweden, 127.5.
Now, a quick note on that American. Coming in ranked 7th on nominations. Remember what Matt Gary told me. all of those nominations are based off of hitting 5 or 6 lifts. If she goes 8 for 9, she's a medal favorite. And look at this, finishing at the top now.
Now
Tied for
we've got
first.
The Swedish lifter 127.5. Now, if she hits this, it puts her into the gold medal for squats.
We thought she worked pretty hard for
And
125.
if she misses this, she stays in bronze, I believe.
Let's get it on the line.
That looked like a better lift than
Yeah.
her first and her second.
It moved better. Let's see what they say about depth. It's close. There
And
you
she
go.
gets the 3 white lights, so she gets the gold medal in the squats, with Wong picking up the silver and Hudson picking up the bronze. So that is the end of our squat session. It's going to get exciting.
You
Bench
know-
press is going to make the difference in the middle here, and it's who can conserve the right amount of energy and get the numbers on the board.
It's very, very close in terms of the nominations. And I think we are going to see some shakeups. Matt Gary, the head of the U.S. coaching, had said, look, if some of these lifters, you're looking at their nominations, it's based off of them having shaky days. And he's done his scouting reports, and he said there could be a huge shakeup if some of these guys go 6 for 6 in the first, entering the deadlifts. Expect some big pulls for the podium finishes.
All right, we'll be back in about 20 minutes here at the IPF World Championships, and we'll see what happens with the under 47 women's bench press. Welcome back to the action here in Calgary for the 2018 IPF Classic Powerlifting World Championships. I am joined by Ryan Sixpack Lapadap, and the action is warming up here for the World Championships in the under 47 kilo women, and we're just about to kick off the bench press in about 10 seconds.
I'll take that as a yes. Thank you.
We were just having a quick conversation. The world record, you had pointed out to me, 95.5, and you had noticed an attempt change on the openers.
Yeah, so Rantala's changed her opening attempt from 87.5 to 90, so she's clearly looking at taking an attempt at a record, which incidentally is her world record. Colleen Sermon is our first lifter from Switzerland, looking at 55 kilograms. And the bench press, traditionally isn't really where these girls make big gains, but it can certainly make the difference in a couple of kilos on that total at the end of this game.
Yeah, we had mentioned off the top that top 3 nominations are within 5 kilos of each other. So, like you said, even a 2.5 kilo jump here and there could literally be a podium finish or way back in the 5th, 6th.
Yeah, if you can get all 3 benches on the board, you're putting yourself in a good position for that deadlift and that end game. Yep. Rhonda Wong from Canada wants 60 kilograms. Well within reason for her.
Yeah, very smooth, very nice.
Yeah, she finished first in the Canadian Nationals this year, actually, with a 67.5, so that was a really nice opening lift. Noémie Alabert from France wants 62.5.
The bar is loaded. 62.5 kilos. Noémie Alabert.
I'm not sure. What did she nominate her? What was her nominating?
I'll take
lifts?
a quick peek here. Alabert has hit 65 on her nomination. I thought I'd seen 67.5 as a personal best. So it's within reason. This should move fairly well, and it does.
It does. Yeah, so that's a big improvement. So she did 60, I think 60 kilos at the IPF World Championships last year. So that's a good progression.
And you got to keep in mind, 2.5 kilo, it's all about percentages, what 2.5 kilo is. And the percentages on these benches, it's going to be quite considerable.
Yeah, when you're a 46 kilo, 47 kilo lifter, I mean, 2.5 kilos is quite a large proportion. Leslie Evangelista from the Philippines, 65 kilograms.
Now, on her profile, her personal best says 67.5.
Which she did at the World Championships last year.
Gotcha.
So I imagine she's improved a lot since then.
Let's hope. This is rather close to that.
We're about to find out.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a very, very good opening lift. And
training has gone well.
She is just chipping away there, trying to work her way up through the rankings. Allegra Hudson from the US of A, 65 kilograms.
Yeah, this is, so again, I know on her nomination it's 67.5, but previously she had missed attempts that they don't think she should have, and I was told, the nomination isn't quite a good indication of her full potential.
Yeah, I mean, she competed at the Arnolds this year and did, I think, 72.5 at the Arnolds.
Oh, wow. See, there you go. A little hit and miss. That's pretty hit and miss, considering.
In an all-three lift competition, it's a big risk to be hit and miss. Okay. So she hits the 65 without any problems at all.
The difference would be at the Arnolds and some of these other meets that we're seeing off her nomination, she didn't have the national team coaches from the U.S. making her attempts for her. And I think if they rein her in and she goes 9 for 9, she's going to have
that's going to make the difference.
Yeah.
Fukumura from Japan wants 65 kilograms as well. And we know that Japanese have a long tradition of bench press.
Yep. They take a look at the rule book and everything from their foot position to their arch to even how they set up their hands,
Incredible arches, some of these young ladies.
just to maximize every single lever and get the most out of their bench setup.
Motion as much as possible.
And she has got an absolutely incredible setup. Look at how high she's getting that chest.
A little wobbly at the top.
Yeah, a little bit wobbly there. I'm not sure if she might have dipped before she got the rack, and she has. So that'll give her 2 red lights and a no lift. She's going to be a little disappointed. Certainly wasn't a strength problem. Just couldn't get the balance right at the top. Just wobbled around a little bit.
It looks like she might have cut it a little early, but a weight, like you had said, not a strength issue. She should be able to take it in the second attempt.
Danielle Malcolm from Great Britain, 67.5.
Now, she's hit 71 kilo previously, and you could tell with the chip on there, probably a British record. Should be within her means.
Yeah, that was at the British Championships this year.
So your British
71.
record holder.
I think she may have had that British record beaten as well.
Wow.
That was quick.
Yep. Little gas and tank. Be interesting. She hits 70 even, and then if she goes 72.5, obviously she'll be breaking the British record again. But it's a kilo and a half in this weight division for bench is a pretty big jump. It doesn't seem like a lot, but it can be.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're 46 kilograms and you're lifting above body weight.
It's all relative, yeah.
Rikani from Japan, 70 kilograms. Should be well within reason. She's been consistent in the 72s and 75s for some time. And another great bench press technician to watch.
Yep.
So women at home, if you're just starting out bench pressing, this is certainly one of the ladies to watch.
Wow.
And she handles the 70 with ease. 3 white lights.
Yeah, the Japanese, they really pride themselves with their bench setup. You actually see her legs hugging that bench, basing herself out so her butt doesn't rise. Very well done.
Stina Kamal from Sweden wants 75 kilograms.
And looking at the projected, she's starting to turn into the lifter to beat here. She's amassing a big subtotal, and her deadlift is the biggest opener.
And I don't think 75 kilos is going to be too tough for her at all.
I see in her nomination a 775.
Yeah, which would have been from probably last year at World Championships.
Gotcha. Well, moved nicely. So maybe 775 for a second and attempt a PR for the third?
Yeah, I think that would be a logical progression. 775. It'll be really interesting to see how she handles the 775. 75 was quick, but we know, 2.5 kilos can be quite a lot for these small ladies.
I can speak from experience. Obviously, I would be several weight classes up, and even then, I find just the bench fall off is so quick. 2.5 kilos, even several weight classes up.
Yeah, the fall off is very fast on the bench press. And Hannah and Tala, she's opening at 90 kilos. We're expecting to see an attempt at the record, but it's really going to come down to how she handles this first lift. 90 kilos. This is an absolutely monster bench press for a 47 kilo. Now, she weighs right on the dot too. She's 46.99.
Yeah. Oh,
she really got on the dot.
Expert weight cutting right there.
That is absolutely perfect, isn't it?
Oh, what don't they like?
Head referees just telling the re-rack. I was looking at foot
feet?
wasn't flat, I think.
Really? I couldn't, from my angle, see both feet. There's an overhead view. There we go. There's a good, nice view of the feet. Thank you,
She's
fellas.
got the command now.
Okay, that was work.
Wow, that was a bit slower than I was expecting.
But perhaps it's because she had to reset up real quick.
Yeah, that actually burns a lot of energy. I mean, you're holding the bar out for 20 seconds,
Yeah.
you get a re-rack command,
And then
you
go
got to
for
set
it.
back up again, which burns energy. Then you've got to unrack it. Then you've got to wait for the command.
Like this is a monster bench opener, 90 kilo, just shy of 200 pounds for an opener in the 47 kilo class, and she's 15 kilo above everybody else's opener. It's huge.
Colleen Sermon from Switzerland looking for 60 kilograms. So a 5 kilo jump. That's a fairly hefty jump in this weight class on a bench press. So we've only had one lady to miss her opening lift on a technicality.
Yeah, not strength. I think she should have that. Okay.
It was a good second lift, a little bit of work.
5 kilo jump too. That's
she
a
handled
decent
that
jump.
5 kilo as well.
Yeah.
And as we've predicted, Rand Taylor's putting a 92.5 for a second lift, so saving that record attempt for the third lift.
It would. You know what? Well, let's more base it off for second attempt. The first was a little bit of work, but like we said, she had to rush that setup.
Rhonda Wong from Canada wants 65, so another 5 kilo jump. So quite a few of these girls taking 5 kilo hits on each one.
And those are big, healthy jumps.
Yeah, it's great. We're in a really privileged position. We get to come to these events, and we see their progress at different championships around the world. And she handles that with ease.
Very smooth, very nicely done. Yeah, she's covering, when you take 5 kilo jumps in this weight class, you can cover quite a bit of ground in the bench press event and rattle people.
Now, Aya Fukumura from Japan is looking at 65 kilos, trying to rectify that little technical error she made.
I think she will. I think she just cut it a little soon.
Remember, Rand Taylor, if she wants to take the world record, she has to go from 92.5 to 96.
Yep. She have to chip her own record.
That looked a lot better.
Yeah, very smooth, very nicely done. Should be on the board, 3 whites.
3 white lights. Yeah, look, in the first lift, she was certainly strong enough. I think she got a little bit relaxed and just didn't quite tighten up as she came to the top and didn't lock out properly.
Now, her and the coaching staff have to have a conversation. Do they jump to what they had planned for her third or her second, somewhere in between? Well, there isn't very much in between, likely.
Noemi Albert from France, 67.5. And handles that 5 kilo jump without any major issues.
Nicely done. You know what this tells me is a lot of these ladies and the coaching staff opened nice and comfortable with their openers, and we always say when you're on the world stage and you've done all this traveling, etc., open with something that any day, no matter what you're going to hit.
You need to open with a bench press that even on a bad day, even when things are going wrong, you're still going to get it.
Bench is the hardest one to grind out.
So Leslie Evangelista from the Philippines wants 67.5.
Oh, is it her feet?
Just getting the re-rack there. Feet not in the right position. Remember, the feet have to be flat on the floor.
They look flat this time. There we go. Nice.
That was a nicely placed second lift.
Again, it's very difficult to stay calm when you have to re-rack the bar, but she did it. She got a
Danielle Malcolm from Great Britain wants 70 kilos.
The bar, Danny Malcolm, Great Britain. Bar is
One of the more conservative jumps, 2.5 kilograms.
70 kilos.
Yeah, I think from the second attempts to the thirds might be some more conservative jumps. I think these ladies opened up nice, easy openers, smooth, get on the board, and take a little bit bigger jump from the opener to the second. Fairly routine planning. And you don't see very many flat-backed benching
You know, it's pretty rare
in the
to
lower
see.
weight classes. Yeah.
Pretty rare to see now. She really gets up on those shoulders.
Yeah, very well set up. Nicely done.
Handles that easily.
That is a good lift. 3 white lights for Danny Malcolm, looking strong.
Allegra Hudson from the USA taking a 5-kilo kick to 70.
You know, we had said, name of the game for Allegra. Previously missed a few attempts here and there. Thought her total suffered. And they want her to, the name of the game is she's got a few fights in her. If she fights too much over the course of a day, her total suffers greatly. So only a couple battles to win the war.
Yeah, we keep talking about consistency in your lifting is how you win these events.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're missing lifts here, missing lifts there, it just makes it so hard to keep up with the top 3.
You gas out when you grind. No grind
And
there.
that was a good
See,
selection.
yeah. I think the coaching staff has her dialed in this time. Nicely done.
Ri Kani from Japan, 75 kilograms.
Another 5-kilo jump for the Japanese lifter.
The bar is loaded at 75 kilos.
Ri Kani, 75 kilograms.
Connie is one of those lifters that's so competitive. If somebody slips up, she
Yep,
could take
she is
advantage.
just going to sit there, chipping away to total.
Yeah.
Just waiting to see if someone makes a mistake.
And that's how you do it. When you find yourself nominated, hovering around 4th, 5th, you just hang in the pocket and try to go 6 for 6 in the first 2
you just want
events.
to come out and do your job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no point pulling any stupid numbers, trying to catch up. Just do
Yeah.
your job and wait and see what happens.
Stay within your means.
I love watching these Japanese bench presses set up. Wow, that was a little tough off the chest there.
5-kilo jump might be been a stitch too
Just
much.
couldn't get the power off the chest.
See if she can make adjustments. Look at those. You can see the legs
Whole
kick in.
body
Yeah,
was
she.
working, but just couldn't get the drive of the chest. Looks like she just sort of mistimed the press.
Possibly.
Stina Ackermalm from Sweden looking for 80 kilograms, which
Yeah.
should be I think this might even be a personal best for her.
Yeah, based off the nominations anyways, it's 2.5 kilo over her nominated bench.
She did 77.5 last year at the World Championships, so
Let's hope that she has us in her, because you don't want to move forward with only your opener. It's a very tight race. Oh, those arms are shaking.
and that's a little too much, that 5-kilo
know
jump,
what?
just to kick her.
I mean, I don't know how her training's going, but it's kind of risky to take a PR in your second attempt. This, maybe if you were the runaway favorite, but she's not the runaway favorite. She is neck and neck in a battle here. I hope that doesn't open up the door for opposition for her sake to catch up.
So here we go, Rantala now for 92.5. This will give us a really good indication of how close she is to taking her own record again.
Yeah, and she's got to have a little bit of inspiration seeing the Swede having missed her second. Oh, she jumped the command.
I think she did,
Yeah.
and she has.
Well, in terms of indication on strength, she looks strong for it. But does she look strong for it because it's a fast touch-and-go bench?
It'll be interesting to see what they put in for next lift.
Yeah, now it is.
You know, I mean, she's neck and neck there. She's only 10 kilos behind predicted totals for first place. If you go for the world record, you risk dropping back to 90 kilos for your first attempt.
Those are our two ladies in the forefront for the medals. And look at this. The door swings open. I mean, this is why the nominations, it's got to be done on the platform.
Colleen Sermon looking for 62.5 from Switzerland.
So she took, this is fairly textbook here, 5 kilo jump from her opener, 2.5 from the second. Pretty bang on the money. Let's see how she handles it.
Gets that chest up as far as she can.
Oh, I wonder if she...
Wow, I think there's a bit of downward movement and a bounce there, and she gets racked. She's going to be a little disappointed with that. Naomi Albert from France, 70 kilograms.
2.5 kilo jump. Again, a 5 kilo jump from the opener, 2.5 kilo jump from the second attempt.
70 kilograms. Should be a personal best too, I think.
Looks like we have 4 lifters taking 70 kilo for their final attempt. Make the spotter and loader's job a little easier.
Give them a little bit of a rest. It's no easy job throwing around those Alico plates.
Oh, wow, nicely done. Did her butt come up? We'll see on the replay.
Unfortunately, she only gets one white light, not enough.
Yeah, you'll see it here in the replay. Yoink, butt comes up immediately, and that's a no lift.
So far, these girls finding it tough on their third. Leslie Evangelista from the Philippines, she wants 70 kilograms.
She would be the first to get her third attempt if she can hit this.
And it looks like Rand Tyler have played the smart card. They put in the 92.5 again for their third attempt.
And this would be a personal best for Evangelista. So let's see if she could buck the trend and get on the board in the third attempts. Nope. I think she even jumped the command anyways. Yeah, look at her laughing off. That's what you got to do.
And you know what? This is tough now for the other girls. I mean, you're sitting there on the sidelines. You're about to come out for your lift, and you have watched the last 3 girls miss their third attempts. You start to lose confidence.
Well, it's the thing, we had said there's not a lot of room to play with in the bench event when you're getting the lower weight classes they're big jumps.
You start to lose a bit of confidence watching everyone miss their third lift. So
it's tough, yeah.
Rhonda Wong from Canada, let's see if she can get things back on track and get her lift at 70. And she's taking a 5 keg jump.
That shows confidence. Nice.
Yes, and she puts it back up hard and
there
fast.
We go.
We've got the 3 white lights. Let's see if the trend changes now and some of these girls start feeling a little more confident.
Yep. Look at that beautiful setup. Leg drive. Legs hugging that bench.
Fukumura from Japan taking another 5K jump to 70 kilograms. Spotters and loaders getting a nice rest there.
Yeah, we got a few ladies who are all going to be around 70. Now, Wong currently right now moved up into bronze medal position for the bench. Of course, a lot of benching left to go. But based off of how many failed attempts, she might be walking away with a medal in the bench event. She's a lighter lifter than the Japanese lifter right now, so tie goes to the lighter lady.
And she gets it back to the top.
Yeah.
And interestingly, we said about consistency earlier. All these missed lifts have actually opened a few doors. And Hudson from USA, and she's going to attempt 72.5 shortly. But she is dead even on the predicted totals with 4th place.
And
so missing that lift opens the door for Carney to come through, for Evangelista, to come through, and having the bigger deadlift.
And the Hudson started nominated 7th, and they said she hits.
And she is rolling up. Danielle Malcolm from Great Britain, 72.5. And we talk about consistency through the bench press to hold on to those placings. We see a few missed lifts and a few doors opening.
Yeah, and when the race is this close, you really can't afford to have too many fumbles. Oh, be nicely done.
Gets it back to the top, and that should be 3 white lights.
That'll bump the Canadian down the rankings off the podium for the bench.
So Allegra Hudson from the USA looking for 72.5.
She weighs less than the Brit, so this would actually bump the Brit off the podium, and she'd be in bronze medal position for the bench press. Jump up 2.5 kilo and jump up 4 rankings.
Just taking her time there. Making sure everything is where she wants it. Everything is tight.
Very nice setup. Wowzers.
Wow, a little bit of work, but she gets it back to the top.
You want to talk about expert in terms of what they load on the bar for their lifter. They got every single kilo they could get out of Hudson, and she is 6 for 6, and this is exactly where Matt Gary said they wanted her, and here she is. I mean, they got every kilo out of their lifter, and that's,
that
as a coach, what you have to do.
Marie Carney from Japan looking for 75. Needs to get this one on the board if she wants a medal in the bench press. She missed this on her second.
Now, she is actually lighter than the Swede, so she would jump up quite a few rankings if she can get it.
Yeah, if she hits this, it'll temporarily put her in the silver medal position for bench press.
Whoa, she might have it.
Wow, she's had to work, but I think she got it there.
Slow and steady.
No, she gets 2 red lights, and I think you might find her butt may have lifted off the bench.
Let's take a look here. Yeah, we can't really see her legs kind of in the way there. Definitely movement.
Stina Ackerman from Sweden, 80 kilograms.
Again, this is a personal best for Stina. She had missed it in her second attempt.
Yeah, just didn't really have the power there in that second attempt.
Oh, no.
And again, just doesn't have the power to push it off the chest. So misses that one, and Hannah Rentala is going to take her second attempt at 92.5. So this is her last bench press. And is going to hit 92.5. She missed this on her second.
Yeah, Hannah really, this is where she builds her bases in the subtotal. Deadlift is competent, but she can get out pulled. So
yeah, it's competent,
really
but it's
this.
certainly not with the best there is. It. So she's currently 10, just a little under. Yeah, she's 5-6 kilos behind there on totals.
There we go. That should be another 2.5 kilo there that she doesn't have to
Puts it on the
later.
board. We'll keep her in touch there with the leaders as well. So that is the end of our bench press. So when we end up with Rentala with the gold medal at 92.5. The Swede on 75 kilos with a silver medal, and Hudson with the bronze medal. And as we said, Hudson was going to start to roll up those places.
Yeah.
And she's pegging them down, isn't she?
You know what? If there's any kind of takeaway from this first session, it's that when you're looking at your nominations, some of these lifters off the nominations previously, when you're lifting and you don't have a national team coach to help you select your weights, and you start going 6 for 9, 5 for 9, has some grinders early, hit the deadlifts gassed out, and you don't end up putting forth the best of days, some of those lifters come here to the World Championships, have the benefit of a very high-level coaching staff, and when it comes to the U.S., they take their coaching very, very seriously. They're going to get the most out of their lifters, and all of a sudden, somebody who's nominated 7th is now in position to end up on the podium.
Yeah, we've talked all week about playing the end game, playing the long game, and they're really starting to do that with Hudson. They've thought about, okay, let's get some squats on the board, let's chip a few kilos away on the bench press, and just slowly sneak in under the radar. And now she's sitting in a position where she can actually challenge for those top positions.
It's a great example where powerlifting, 100%, it's a strength sport. However, there's a lot of strategy to this, more than a lot of people realize.
Well, we'll be back in about 20 minutes to watch these girls battle it out in the deadlifts. Welcome back to the 2018 IPF Classic Powerlifting World Championships here in Calgary, Canada. We're back for the deadlift session in just under a minute with Ryan Six-Pack Lapidap, and big shout out to our sponsors. Alico IPF stood behind this organisation for such a long time.
Yep.
New sponsor on board, Uplift, who just signed a primary sponsor deal this week. ER Equipment, Titan Support Systems, A7, the boys at A7 are here as well. Rogue, Athletic Alliance, Barbell Brigade, Reband, Loaded Bar Collective. Without any of these guys, none of this happens. And you hear us banging on about the sponsors all week, and we've been banging on about Alico and SPD. And I'm sure it sounds like a plug, but in all seriousness, Alico plates, Alico bars, it's literally the best money can buy, probably the best waffle line you can get.
And when we talk about this production we have now, it's high quality like any TV show you'd watch, and this wouldn't happen if we didn't have the sponsorships.
Fukumura from Japan looking at 115 kilograms to open her deadlift campaign.
Now, she's pulled 132.5 before, so this should be a nice, smooth, easy opener. Yep, just as expected. Very nicely done.
And traditionally, with the Japanese lifters, nearly all of them pulling sumo. Seen the occasional conventional lifter, but mostly sumo. Colleen Sermon from Switzerland wants 125. There's a few girls to watch in this final round, and we'll get a bit of an idea of where they might go after we get the first round out of the way.
Yeah, speaking of the first round, we had noticed the Swede had actually bumped her opener 5 kilo.
Yeah, that's a big change in an opening lift.
Yeah, and I think the French lifter also bumped hers to 150. So she was trying to match the Swede, and the Swede said, "I see what you did, and I'll raise you another 5. Hopefully they're not pushing each other a little too close to their limit.
Yeah, I mean, like we always say, it's that last lift that makes the difference, not the first lift.
That's right.
The first one, you just need to put it on the board.
Make it smooth and easy. You don't want to grind 3 times.
Oh, having some trouble with that, and she is very, very upset with herself.
And this is almost right on cue when we're saying, I mean, this could literally only be a balance issue, and that's fine.
But it's that first lift. You have to put it on, otherwise you're not in the game.
And let's say you really push your opener because out of pressure you did, and you lose on balance. Now you retake it, and you know,
all of a sudden, instead of adding 5 kilos to your total, you added 2.5.
Yeah. And you got to rejig your whole game plan.
Danielle Malcolm from Great Britain looking at 130 kilograms. A good opening lift.
Yeah.
Great choice.
Yeah, that's what you want to see with your dead smooth.
Now, Hannah Rantala from Finland, currently ranked in second place on predicted totals, opening 135, so not the biggest of deadlift.
Yeah, but again, is she just planning on making much bigger jumps?
Putting that first one on the board.
Tons of room. Tons of room left there.
One of the few conventional lifters in this weight class.
Yep. When she came out with knee sleeves, I was about to say, I hope she's not pulling sumo. You know, we've seen a couple times lifters come out, knee sleeves, pull sumo, and that gnarling catches that sleeve.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked to a lot of the guys about knee sleeves over the last week, and as a coach myself, I really don't see any advantage in wearing a knee sleeve. Real solid advantage in wearing a knee sleeve on a deadlift. Rhonda Wong from Canada, 135.
I'm expecting this to move pretty quickly. Canadian coaching staff, pretty much they have the belief opening lifts got to move nice, smooth, and easy, no major grinders. Right on course.
You know, the amount of energy you use grinding out a lift.
Yeah, and that's it. You only have so many. And if you're in a bit of a dogfight here in the deadlift event, you don't want to grind 3 out. It's going to catch up.
Kani from Japan looking for 140.
United States of bar is loaded. Rikami, Japan, 140 kilos.
140 kilograms from Japan. Just really taking her time, getting her feet right. Well, that left leg looks to be a little bit out of position, but she stands up without any problems. And gets 3 white lights, and it's on the board.
And so far, all these openers, except for obviously the lifter from Switzerland, fairly smooth.
Allegra Hudson, now she is one to watch.
Yeah, she's really pieced together a good 6 for 6 day. U.S. has got the most out of their lifter, and let's see how she handles her opener.
You know, her first deadlift is going to give us a really good indication of where she's going. And there's plenty of room to move.
Yeah. Yeah, plenty of room there.
Now, our next lifter, Leslie Evangelista, is definitely one to watch. She's currently just sitting behind there. Not a whole lot in it, but just close enough to third place to make a play if she wants to. And she does have a very, very big deadlift in the bag.
Yeah, she's going to jump from 9th rank to 3rd rank with just her opening deadlift. That's what a deadlift can do for you.
Yeah, so she's having 147.5, which gives her plenty of room to move.
Pretty narrow for a sumo pull.
And stands straight up. It is a very narrow sumo stance.
Yeah, get a little bit of benefit of both worlds, get a little more back in there and move smooth enough.
And she's got that one on the board, so she just really wants to do her job and see if anyone makes a mistake.
Yeah.
And then have a look on her third lift to see if she can pull for a medal. Naomi Albert from France wants 150. So these next 2 lifts, we're really looking to see how close they are to their biggest lift. And that was a pretty tough lift for an opener.
And this is what I'm saying. It's not about where you open, because you see the opener, you're thinking, wow, where's she going to finish? Well, sometimes not far off that opener.
Yeah, so she's open 150. There's not a whole lot of wiggle room there.
Where other lifters open very light, they're going to finish way past that. So it's kind of deceiving. A good transition to the Swedish lifter who's actually bumping her opener considerably.
155.
It's a big opener. Also pretty narrow for a sumo.
This is a fairly quick moving lift.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit soft on the knee there on one side. Gets 1 red light, but 2 is on the board.
Yeah, take a look here. It does. Takes a little work. You know, it's kind of, we've seen some lifters, they smash their openers and they're taking 10 to 15 kilo jumps, and you got to wonder if the Swede opened closer to her limit, she may have opened heaviest, but her jumps might be considerably more conservative, and will they all catch up and meet in the end?
All right, well, let's have a look and see where they go.
Now, she missed this on her opener.
So 125 for Colleen Sermon from Switzerland.
That looks good.
That looked a lot better.
Yeah.
Got a balance worked out on that one.
And she's on the board, solidifies her totals. Nobody's bombing out. That's what you want to see.
Hey, Fukumura from Japan wants 125.
a 10-kilo jump. And there you go. So other lifters are taking 10-kilo jumps. The Swede, only 5.
Only 5
and the rest of
kilos.
the pack now is trying to catch up.
And that just sort of narrows the gap just a little bit.
Yeah.
125 kilograms. Weighing in at 46.6.
30 seconds.
Just a touch shy of 3 times body weight.
Nice and smooth. Very nice deadlift. Very
That was
economical.
a very, very good deadlift.
Please load the bar to 140 kilos. This is the Danny Malcolm of Great Britain, to be followed by Hannah Rantala of Finland.
Danielle Malcolm, Great Britain, 140 kilograms.
10-kilo jump. Opener move, nice and easy. $140 She's hit 135, so this is actually a personal best. Yeah, it
A
was
little bit tough through the middle there, but she gets it to the top.
likely a smaller than a 10-kilo jump for her
3
next
white
one.
lights, yeah. Rentala, 142.5.
Now the Finn, if she hits this, the Swede misses her second. They're within 2.5 kilo. You can see, I don't think they're both going to miss their their second attempts. I'm just saying, you see how quickly a lead can get mitigated.
Can change, and this is going to come down to a third lift. I mean, and if it comes down to a third lift, the Swede hasn't got much left in the tank.
Look, the Finn just moved that with a 7.5 kilo jump from her opener
And
very easily.
You can tell by the smile on her face that she's like, you know what?
She
I got
knows.
a chance here.
She sees a way to the gold. As soon as you see the pathway, you stick on path.
Rhonda Wong from Canada, looking at 142.5.
And again, she just slaughtered her opener. This should be also fairly smooth. Canadian coaching staff, they're going to pace you to max out on your final lift and not your second or first.
Yeah, and that's where you want it to be.
Yeah. You only have
You
so
don't
many
want to be
grinders.
burning out on your first lift. You've still got a long way to go.
Have an ambitious third attempt, not an ambitious opener. Nicely done.
Very well played.
Yep.
Nice run then, 3 white lights and a good leg.
Rikani from Japan wants 150.
10-kilo jump again.
£330, 150 kilos, bar is loaded.
Here she comes. Taking her time, just getting everything exactly where she wants. It's quite an interesting sumo setup.
Workout lockout.
Yeah, lockout of the knees was a little bit tough there, but she gets it.
So if that was the 10-kilo jump, I'm expecting maybe a 5
Yeah,
for her.
I think a
third and
5's in the
final.
cards. Allegra Hudson looking for 150.
Yeah, now you start seeing 10-kilo jump, and she could start bringing herself into position back into the bronze. But she, you need some people to miss, and some people are extending themselves.
Yeah, I mean, if you're putting on the numbers in that second lift, she's putting herself in a position now that if she gets this lift well, she's in a position to, change her third lift.
Yeah, pull for
If
a
there's
bronze.
an opportunity there, she might be in a position to pull for a bronze.
Yeah, you're really paying close attention how these other lifters are extending themselves in their second attempts. Some of these second attempts are going to start looking like third attempts, and that's when the coaching staff smiling ear to ear and see their opportunities.
Just getting the bar clean. Just want to make sure everything is ready for Allegra Hudson from the USA, looking at 150.
Already 8 for 9, it looks like. Wow, putting together quite the day.
Yeah, 150. I mean, that was actually a pretty quick 150.
Yeah, and here's, you know, the U.S. coaching staff had said previously she missed a lot of lifts. We need her either 9 for 9 or 8 for 9. She's doing her part. So she can walk away no matter how the chips fall and be like, that was my 100. That was my A game.
That's it. Evangelista from the Philippines looking at 152.5.
Now, she opened pretty high, and she's making smaller jumps, closer to her limit.
And you look at 4th, 5th, and 6th, there is next to nothing separating them.
So you just can't miss. And who's fresher when it comes down to the last pull for those positions?
Wow, that was a pretty tough lift. 152.5.
I got a feeling she's a pretty tough lady, though. I mean, a lot of these ladies, when their back is to the wall, they're going to scrap it out for a medal.
Yeah, you know, we know from history Evangelista has pulled a lot more than that in the past. Yeah, but the world stage, the travel, it's a whole different ballgame, isn't it?
Well said. This isn't the past, and every day brings a new fight.
Albert from France wants 157.5. This is a big lift and a PB, I think.
Yeah, I believe it is. We'll see how close she is to her limit with this one.
Yeah, she was hitting 145 at the World Championships last year, so that's a big improvement, and that is just a little bit much.
And here's what happens when you get a little ambitious.
That gives Evangelista an opportunity to pull through in the 4th position there.
Like I had said, some people's second attempts will look like third attempt Hail Marys. See how the Swede handles this. She opened very high. 5 kilo jump, kind of conservative in the deadlifts.
Yeah, so this is Stina Ackermalm now from Sweden looking for 160. The big open at 155.
Yeah, and deadlifts take a lot out of you if you're opening high.
Very important to put this on the board because Rantala is right at her heels.
Gotta agree with you.
Wow, it was tough at the top though.
It is. It's getting into be work. It's
not. She doesn't lock it out. That's going to cost her.
And that's exactly what I was
warning.
That's
what Rantala's been waiting for.
You know, you don't win off your opener. Why she bumped her opener, she was fine with it, and her personal best being 165. Why open within 10 kilos of your personal best? You have 3 attempts. In terms of the percentage towards your max you're going to be playing with for the next hour, it's very draining, very difficult.
She just opened the door for Rantala to come through.
It was almost, you know, what can you do? We're kind of analyzing the play. We see it.
Colleen Sermon from Switzerland looking for 132.5.
Oh, it's a fight. Oh, no.
She's dipped the bar there, so she won't get that. And she's dropped it at the end.
It was an ambitious third attempt.
She's pretty happy with the lifts, though. Hey, Fukamura from Japan, 135.
Yeah, you're seeing a contrast to the Canadian coaching and the U.S. coaching staff. Their attempts, they're building momentum, easy opener, little heavier, and then go all out on the last attempt when you got plenty of gas left, as opposed to Swedish teams, we got a lead, let's really try to hammer it in the opener, but then you know, the wheels can fall off if you're banking.
You know, look, and it's a catch-22. I mean, if she had to clean the 160, she puts herself way in front.
Yeah.
Now she's looking for 165 on a third attempt.
Well, she's going to have to, right?
Hey, Fukamura from Japan, 135.
30 seconds.
5 kilo jump. Very technical deadlifter. Yeah, I figured she'd have it. She has a very nice deadlift.
Gets 2 white lights, and that's enough to be on the board.
Goes 3 for 3.
Lauren Tyler looking for 147.5, and again, this is an important lift.
Yeah, she's like, it'll temporarily put her into first place overall. And she's kind of banking on the Swede who missed her second to also miss her third, which is 5 kilo more than her second. So not a bad bet.
Yeah, look, if she misses this lift, you might see the Swedish lifter put her third attempt down again.
This could be your gold medal deadlift already.
And we go by 142.5. I can't imagine her missing this.
There
She goes.
She did her part. Now let's see what her
she just has to wait
competitors
and
do.
see now.
That's it.
Danielle Malcolm from Great Britain looking at 147.5.
Danny Malcolm, Great Britain, 325 pounds. 7.5 kilo jump for her.
Also a respectable dead, and a 7.5 kilo jump is very respectable as well.
The bar is loaded, 147.5 kilos. Danny Malcolm, Great Britain.
147.5.
Give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
These are such big deadlifts for such tiny little women.
47 kilo class. You got to keep that in mind percentage wise. These are massive deadlifts.
And it's just a little bit too much for her.
Now, it also should be mentioned the Swede can change her final lift. She's probably only going to pull as much as she has to for the win. She doesn't have
so
to
you've got
pull
the opportunity to
165.
change your final deadlift twice.
We're expecting...
And you can drop it down.
Yeah, we're expecting her to drop that possibly back down to 160, 162. And we'll
Rhonda
see.
Wong, 152.5.
5 kilo jump for the Canadian. We liked how the second moved. This should be, or sorry, this is a 10 kilo jump for the Canadian. We liked how the second moved. It's a realistic final attempt. And not really risking too much. She's in 6 right now, and this could pull her temporarily into bronze medal position.
And well, you never know what can happen in
You might as
deadlifts.
well. I mean, if it pulls you temporarily into bronze and some ladies don't hit their deads, the juice is worth the squeeze. You might as well go for it. Oh, nicely done.
To the top.
Perfectly placed final attempt. 3
white lights.
And this is what I was talking about. They got everything out of their lifter. Not a kilo more was left on the table. Beautiful attempt selection. And if she doesn't end up in the bronze, because she is right now, there was nothing more they could have done anyways.
Yeah, look, that's a smart move. I mean, we've seen the top 3 girls here really putting some big attempts and are at a very high risk of missing those lifts.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that puts her in a position now that she could walk away with a medal in the deadlift.
The Americans have done the same with Hudson. You can only get whatever you can out of your lifter and hope for the best after that.
So Hudson has taken a small jump to 152.5.
Yeah, they're probably looking at it. You know, it'd be a big ask to try to move into silver or gold. But moving into bronze, definitely that is an option, and it's reasonable.
Allegra Hudson from the USA looking at 152.5.
It looks like we're going to have a couple pulls for the bronze medal position.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to take a little bit of a run at it and see what happens. But they're taking some big jumps. I mean, Evangelista has put in a 160. Her 152.5 wasn't that fast.
I know that's what makes it.
When I look at that 160, I think, boy, that's.
But the motivation
got to be right on the edge.
The motivation of ending up on the platform also can make a difference. Yeah, that's a lot of Americans shouting at their lifter now. This is a pull for bronze to bump the Canadian down to 4th. Oh, it's slow. No,
it's a little too much for her though.
And that was That was a gritty performance. Look at, she only missed one lift all day. She need not hang her head in shame. She's 8 for 9 and gave everything she had.
Look, and Rhonda Wong put her lift in, and you know, banking on a few girls missing.
And that's what happens when
And
you
it's
pace
starting to
yourself
pay
well.
off. Noemi Alabert from France, 157.5.
This is a monster deadlift. She attempted it in her second, missed, looking to take it
It's going to
again.
be tough. I mean, she's got to be running out of steam.
Yeah. Pick your battles. She's got one more shot at this.
Yeah, it's a little too much for her.
Little much today. Now we have 3 lifters actually with 157
So
and a half.
Evangelista
Whoa.
has actually just dropped her second lift from 160 to 157.5, her third lift.
Wow, so is she, because she's lighter than the Canadian? No, she's heavier than the Canadian.
Not. So that's
why would she do
interesting
that?
move.
Why would she concede the bronze? You might as well pull for it. She's heavy. She's going to equal the Canadian in total, but she's the heavier lifter. Not sure why.
Interesting decision there. I think maybe she's happy to settle for a bronze medal in the deadlift.
She's pulled
I think that
160 before, though.
May just be out of reach for her today.
But what do you lose by attempting it?
Well, I think maybe she's thinking of taking a podium finish for the deadlift.
Yeah, maybe she's looking at that. If you don't think you have it in you, and you think the deadlift event's the best case scenario,
One medal's better than none. I think she had the 160 in her. Looking at that, I mean, I think she had the 160 in the tanks. That was a really interesting decision by the coaches.
Yeah, well, you make these decisions out back. If she said, no, believe me, that's all I got in the tank, you go off what the lifter says, right?
Yeah, and it's all easy, nice and easy for us to sit here and go,
Nice and
she had
easy.
more in
Yeah,
the
I'm
tank.
comfy in this booth
She
right
had
now.
more- She had more in the tank for sure. Come on.
I'm a couch warrior for
And you're
sure.
right. You listen to your athlete. I mean, that's all she's got in the tank, and that's all that's in the tank.
So that Canadian looking
Now,
solidified in the bronze medal. Well played
and
there.
interestingly, if Carney misses this and the Swede misses hers, Evangelista actually takes home the gold in the deadlift.
Yeah, perhaps that's what she was eyeballing. Oh, no.
And it's a little too much.
Close, very close.
Thought she was going to get there.
She saw the finish line, but just couldn't cross it. Now here's a big. Okay, so the Swede started very heavy with her deads.
And she has to pull this.
She was, if she doesn't hit this, she's going to be looking back, rerunning her numbers, wondering, should I have went so heavy on my opener?
So she has to pull this weight.
If she hits it,
Maintain the go. She misses. She drops back to silver, does she?
yes. But the Canadian's in bronze regardless. She's got a medal. Is it silver or is it gold? Down to the last deadlift. We said it was going to be a battle. One
160,
final pull.
She struggled with this on a second attempt.
It'll be a double gold. Gold for deadlift, gold overall.
Gonna get a good grip on that bar.
Whoa, it's fast off the ground. I think she's done it.
We might have it locked out this time.
Let's see.
And she does. So she'll take the gold medal in the deadlift.
Yikes.
The gold medal overall. Rantala will settle for second from Finland. And Wong is going to settle for the bronze medal overall. But Evangelista has snuck through there into a silver medal on the deadlift.
Yeah.
When realistically, she was sitting way down the pack there, so she just sort of snuck in for a medal on the deadlift.
Patiently waiting for her opportunity. It was a little dramatic because the Swede had opened so high in her opener, and it's a risky move because she actually
she missed
ended
her
up.
second attempt at 160. She was under a lot of pressure there on that third lift. Missed that third lift. She drops the gold medal, drops down to second, and Rantala walks away with it. But she pulled it in the end.
She actually only ended up 5 kilo over her opener. In the deadlift event, you usually don't enter the deadlift saying, I'm hoping to gain
we talk
5
all the
kilos
time
from my
about
opener.
starting low, building that total, and you look at the end result there. I mean, 2.5 kilos separating first and second overall
Yeah.
medals. I mean, that was touch and go for both of them.
And almost a complete contrast in terms of game planning. The Canadian, very slow and steady, starting low, giving herself a chance to pull with that, because you need energy if you're going to
That's
pull
right.
out for those bronze medals and a podium finish. And she had actually came into this in the 8th nomination.
Well, don't go too far away. We'll be right back with the medal ceremonies. And at 2 o'clock, we've got another session. The open lifting and the women's is heating up, and it is getting out of control.
And you know the second session of the day is the return of the IPF champion, Marissa Inda, very popular. Make sure you don't miss this. Will she defend her title?
Let's find out. It's going to be a battle.
So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. The 47 kilo ladies open competition. They look sweet now, but they look brutal on the platform. This was an amazing, amazing competition to call, ladies and gentlemen. And here they all are. Okay, we can drop the music. And the medals will be presented by none other than Mr. Gaston Farage of Luxembourg, President IPF, and Hanny Smith, Republic of South Africa, Chief Technical Officer, IPF. They are the top pinnacle of IPF. And we move to the bronze medal in squats. 125 kilos, USA, Allegra Hudson. Silver medal, same weight, it changed on body weight. She had the biggest smile all day. She's from Canada. It is Rhonda Wong. And the gold medal in squats goes to Sweden, Stina Akemo. Congratulations, ladies. Best smiles for the camera, for the photos.
1, 2, 3, one more. 1, 2, 3.
Beautiful, thank you ladies, you may step down. And we now move to bench press. Slight deja vu here. The bronze medal goes to the USA, Allegra Hudson.
Yeah, Allegra.
In silver medal position from Sweden, Stina Akemo. And the gold medal in bench press from Finland, Hanna Rantala. Truly amazing bench pressing for a 47 kilo lifter.
Over here, ladies.
Photos please ladies, big smiles.
1, 2, 3, one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you ladies. Deadlift. It was close, it was really, really close. Everyone was trying their hardest. The bronze medal goes to Canada, Rhonda Wong. In silver medal position, with her own announcer from the Philippines, Leslie Evangelista. And the gold medal in deadlift to Sweden, Stina Akemo. Big smiles for the photos, ladies. Fantastic job all around.
1, 2, 3, one more. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. You may step down, and we are now announce the winners overall. Bronze medal position, Canada, Rhonda Wong!
Yeah, Rhonda! Yes!
Silver medal, Finland, Hanna Rantala. And the gold medal. And your new world champion from Sweden, Miss Stina Akemo! Amazing job, ladies. Please, everyone, one and all, hats off and be upstanding for the national anthem of Sweden. Congratulations, one and all. And we now play the music as the ladies are led off the platform. Please follow your official clockwise off the platform, and let's hit the music, Mike. The Awakening. Not quite now. Give these ladies a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Your 47 kilos open lifters. Thanks, Mike.